Welcome everyone to What's Tea Podcast. I'm your host, Baby Angel. I'm so excited about today's show. With me today, we had to do a part 2, a continuation of last week's episode. You guys, that was so amazing. Dealing with healing of the heart, mind, body, and soul. I want to allow everyone to just briefly introduce themselves. We don't want to assume that everyone in the audience knows who we are. Guys, give it up for Sue to the Q, E-Class Lady, Unique Foxdale, and Geek Mommy, guys. Welcome again to What's Tea Podcast. We had to do a part 2. Ladies, tell the people what you guys do in these spaces.
Who want to go first?
Well, I'm Sue. I do indie tours in here, marketing and touring. And in real life, I do occupational therapy.
Hey, give it up. Shout out to everybody in the medical field. Man, I'm telling you, that is a ministry in its own.
Big shout out to y'all too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good evening, everyone. It's your girl E-Class Lady 22 coming at you.
Hey.
Yo. I am a singer, songwriter, voice actress, photographer in real life, for real. In the meta, I am a world creator, singer, songwriter, performer. I love the art, so y'all keep an eye out for your girl.
Hey, period. Love it. I love that song, Delicious, y'all. That's one of my faves, y'all. Hey.
I need to hear that one.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Maybe one day you
Good.
could come back and bless the stage, E-Class Lady.
I'd be more than happy to.
Mwah. Now you need to start.
Hello, everybody. Unique Foxdale here. So, I've been on. Y'all gotta say my introduction with my name, Unique Foxdale. Anyways, Unique Foxdale. I am a world hopper, Baby Angel's bestie, and basically I run the PCOS Horizons. Polycystic ovarian cyst. Polycystic ovarian syndrome world and horizon. So I have meetings every Thursdays, and I'm gonna do one this coming Thursday, and the last one's gonna be this weekend. So make sure you be on the lookout, 5 p.m. Central Time. So if you have PCOS, or you know anybody with PCOS, please send them to me. And I have my PCOS sisters right here, E-Class Lady and Sue to the Q.
Hey.
And I am Geek Mommy. I am a world hopper. I just go from world to world to have fun. You can also review my nursery rhyme on Apple Music under Geek Mom, the Say So song. So I'm a geek and I'm a mommy.
Oh, I love that.
Love it.
Oh, guys, you know what? I love it. Speaking of love, you know what? That's how I want to start out this episode of What's Tea Podcast, y'all. We talking about What's Tea. Let's talk about different ways that we love ourselves. And I feel like it's so important. Self-love is so important. You know, a lot of us, we make sure the kids are okay. We make sure our husbands, our boyfriends, etc., the pets, the neighbors, everyone, mom-in-law, you know what I mean? Oh, right, the wrong button. You know, but a lot of times we give, and then we don't have anything left for ourselves. You know, and the thing is, talking about healing of the mind, body, and soul. How can we ever heal if we're constantly giving and we don't have anything to give to ourselves? So my first question of the night is, ladies, what different ways do you show yourself self-love? what self-love look like to ladies? And for everybody, it looks different, right?
It does.
Also, audience, if you want to chime in, feel free. We're going to just open up both for the mics. Feel free to hop on whenever. Yes.
Who want to go first?
So I'll go. For me, self-love isn't about a lot of times I used to go back and I wanted to be made up and beautiful all the time. But for me, self-love is just laying around and just not doing anything and just relaxing.
Girl.
Yes.
Hey, it be like that though.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people could benefit from saying, you know what, this can wait, and a lot of things that we prioritize in life just aren't that important for that moment. It's okay to rest. So that's what I like to do. I like to rest.
I agree with that.
I agree wholeheartedly. I need that rest because I'm not a happy camper.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, you're on mute, Sue. You're on mute, Sue.
Oh, Sue, you're muted, baby.
You're mute, Sue.
Yeah, you're muted.
Oh shit! I was on. Oh, my bad. I was talking. I'm gonna piggyback off of that because yes, actually, that is like huge. That's like one of my biggest things. Is for my self love is allowing myself to rest.
Yes.
Allowing myself to stop thinking of other people for a moment and just think about me. I think that's like one of the biggest things that I can give myself, because if you're not checking in with you, if you're not, you know what I mean, then you're gonna come unchecked.
Right.
Yes, and that is so true.
You know what I mean?
Check out mentally.
Check out. We're just gonna go. You can't handle anything working in that kind of energy, especially if you're trying to fill other people's cups, because your cup's not filled. You're not filling up your own cup. You're not going into that self-love. And that's like the number one thing I think that we forget, is that self-love, to fill other people's cup, is that you gotta fill it up. You gotta go inside. You gotta give yourself the same kind of love that you give everybody else. And man,
Oh, that's so good.
it took me years to figure this out.
Yes.
That all I needed to do was say, no, that's gonna wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah, put yourself first.
And that's good. And side note, no is a complete sentence, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
Because it took me a long time to learn that. Saying no is a self-love service. Absolutely. Those boundaries.
Absolutely. And you know what I think too? I think with today's society, everything is go, go, go. I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. Sometimes for me, I don't know about y'all, but for me, having a balance is just as important. You know, with today's society, everything is microwave, it's quick, I gotta go, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But sometimes it is nice to just rest and just chill for a second, to take a step back. Because then you got so many different things just going on in your mind and in your head, and you thinking about, making sure that the kids taken care of, they got school, and everything else, and all these other different things. One day I'll have children, but I'm just saying I have nieces and nephews, but I know I kind of see what it's like to be able to make sure that the kids are taken care of, spouses. I was married, so making sure spouses are taken care of, making sure that things are done in a specific order. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so to be able to just take that time to say, you know what, taking that time for myself, whether it is to have a moment to just rest and take a nap. Look, as a kid, we used to take that for granted, and as an adult, I'm like, look, bring on the nap, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Now I cherish those naps, man.
Exactly. And I know for me specifically what self-love looks like to me, my thing is I'm an aesthetic person. I like to be aesthetically pleasing. So I like to get my nails done. I like to have my spa days. Granted, here recently, times may with the way the economy's set up right now, it's not that easy anymore. So I learned to do that by myself. I learned how to be self-sufficient in that. And whether it's just me giving my own self a pedicure, sitting my butt in a hot bath, soaking my feet in some hot water and
Oh,
soap,
yes.
and just relaxing and enjoying my time, listening to music, being able to write music for me, because that's my thing. Writing
Therapy.
music,
Yeah.
hearing music, and recording music, that's my thing. And so just being able to even do those things. One of the things that I even like, because I am single now, I'll even venture to say I even date myself. I
Ooh,
take
girl,
myself
yeah.
to dinner.
I love
take
that.
myself to
I like
dinner.
that.
I take myself to the movies. Whether it's whether I'm at home, I'll make me dinner and I'll have a movie night with Netflix or something. Like that's my idea of self-love, because I have to be comfortable in myself and love myself, because I want to be in a relationship. I mean, I kind of am, but I want to be in a relationship for real, and be able to love somebody, but I have to be able to love myself first. Because how can anybody love you if you don't love yourself first?
I know
Oh,
that's
say
right.
that
Yeah,
again. Say that
Like
again.
how, for real, like how can you love anybody else if you don't love yourself? And that just doesn't go for women, that goes for men too. Because a lot of
So
times
true.
the men, they love themselves, they respect themselves. They're not just gonna accept any type of female. When a man
That's
respects
facts.
himself, they not just gonna accept any female. They gonna be looking for something specific. And look, a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
He
So I
does.
know
He
I'm
findeth a
somebody's
good
good
thing.
thing,
Oh,
baby.
yes.
Okay, that
I think
have a
I want to go back
question.
off. I want to go off of that though, because she made a comment, right? Like when we were kids, we used to take naps, and oh my god, thank you.
This one, I gotta do something with that. Get a case for it.
Because we all talk with our hands. I don't know if y'all noticed that. So we just be grabbing it. But my point was, going back, and I think that's also a big thing in self-love, right? Is honoring that inner child, honoring
yes,
that free
Facts.
spirit, but in order to do that, you have to have a safe place, right,
right.
for her to go. And sometimes when you go and you let her out, you know what I mean, and you take her by her hand and you take that nap, or you do dancing in your room by yourself and the music in the mirror with, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
party
Yeah.
You
one,
know what I
baby.
mean? You showing her that
Right.
she's safe. You're safe with yourself. You're safe in the environment to let her out. And I love letting my little inner girl out. I love her to death.
Ooh,
I
You know what I mean?
love that.
That's self-love. That's part of it.
especially that self love, and you meditate on off it too, and like send like positive vibes and stuff. Like
Yeah.
like people like, oh, can you do that? I said no, not today, because they have a shirt at Walmart that says no, not today. Nope, not today. So yeah, it's good to like have that time for yourself. That just put God first out. Everything is God's love, then your love, then everybody else's love. It's like that umbrella of love. Putting
Absolutely.
yourself first. So that's how I see
It's more referred to as a guapa love, right? Hold. And it starts with it, right? That's a guapa. That's everything. And then
That's
when you
all of
grab
it.
that and
Yeah.
you can bring that into yourself, right, and understand it and give it to yourself, then how much you can project it towards others is just absolutely damaging to any darkness that even tries to come near.
Right.
Oh,
And
that's
Exactly.
two,
beautiful. I love that.
yeah, and the great thing about that is it's the gift that keeps on giving. People that are happy with themselves are able to treat other people better, right? They're not
Ooh.
walking around with that mean spirit and stuff because they're happy with themselves. They're content. I
Right.
think that not only does it affect you as the individual, but it affects the people around you and the people that you come into contact with.
Right.
Absolutely. I love that. That affects everything. Oh, yes. When we have that self love for ourselves, self love is loving your fellow man, loving your family.
Yes.
Because I tell you what, I am a different creature when I am not taking care of myself, when I am
Oh my God,
down.
me too.
That
Oh boy, I be
That part,
struggling. Boy, but it's that strength and that love that makes me struggle. You know what I mean? Keep crawling. It makes me keep going,
Exactly.
saying, okay, I could do it. I can muster it up just a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's what I think is so important about what you said last episode about surrounding yourself with supports and beacons of light. Because when you're
Right.
able to crawl and you're crawling and you're crawling and you get to those people that are that beacon of light and boom, they fill up your cup just a little bit and you're like, oh, okay, I can sit up again. Now I can work here. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
that's the importance of that support group that because I thought that was,
Mhm.
it's very, very important, man. Making
It
sure that you
is.
surround
It
yourself,
is.
like in this space, right? You have to
Mhm.
protect your energy quite a bit. And there's third
Right.
party hate that
Mhm.
comes through this way and that way and all
Absolutely.
that
Oh,
other
talk
stuff.
about it.
You know what I mean? And recently, there was people that I block people. I block people. If I notice that your moves are coming from you're moving out of your emotions, you're not emotionally regulated, you go into third party hate. That my self love is to put that boundary and say no, ma'am.
Come on. Come
That is
on.
And that's
true.
not all, and that's not a
Facts.
bad, and that's not a
And that's
bad
not a
thing
bad
either.
thing.
At
It's
You know
all.
what I
not.
mean?
At all.
It's really not. That
I mean, because
is
at
my
the end,
love for me to say no.
exactly.
I see it and I reject it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I
That's
agree.
Right.
not for
I
me.
agree.
Oh, because you know what? How we teach people how to treat us by what we accept. But if
Yes.
you
Mhm.
do not value yourself, if you do not love yourself, and I've learned this just from being a young lady and allowing people to treat me like nothing. I allow people to treat me like trash, and I treated myself like trash because that's the way that I felt about myself. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is
So
he.
is he.
And I'm not trying to get
Yeah.
all, you know what I mean, super religious, but the Bible is full of all sorts of gems. And that's what it is. As a man thinketh, so is he. How you feel about yourself is how you will conduct yourself, and that is how you will allow other people to treat you. That self-love is so vital. And then here's the tipper. Those of us with children, with young ones, we cannot give to them what we do not even have for ourselves. And the thing
Very
is, they
true.
do not have whatever we do not give them,
Very
they're just
true.
not going to have it, or they're going to be constantly looking for it. They're going to be constantly looking for it with
They'll be
different
constantly
devices and
looking
different
for it.
ways.
That's it.
Yes.
And then there we go with trying to balance out all the stages of life, trying to get it out. But now we're becoming a product of our environment. Because now we have to go outside to find it. You know what I mean? Instead of finding it in the secure home. So, I think that's so important.
And then, even then, though,
So,
Sue,
like that we're talking about it.
Sue, you said something and it just made me
Yes.
think about it. Talking about the inner circle. And again, I apologize. I relate a lot of stuff to what I've learned as a child. So growing up, even reading the story of Moses.
I love it. I love it.
Even reading the story of Moses. If you get a chance, Moses, he actually had to have his armor bearer and his brother. When God told him to as long as he had his arms up, the battle was they were going to win. And the moment he let his arms down, they started to lose the battle. So it's very important on who you keep around you to lift up your arms so that way you can be victorious at the end. So like you said, Sue, you said that and it brought back to my memory that what we was talking about. And even then, like knowing, you gotta watch. I was doing some research one day and I heard, like I said, forgive me, I'm not a mom, but I kind of I guess, I don't know, people think of me as a mom in a way, but then also I have nieces and nephews too at the same time. But there was a study that and this is for the single parents. Most of the kids of single parent households, when they look at the mom, they find that there is more productivity in children whose mother is more self-sufficient and confident in herself versus someone who is struggling to find out who they are and struggling with that self-love. Because if a woman loves herself more and she's pouring into herself, she's able to pour into her children. The children come out more productive. It's when there's no reflection of the mother that the children start to go astray.
Because they don't have no identity. They don't have identity.
This is what we call generational curses, right?
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Because
Yes,
now
ma'am.
names are now placed onto your children, right? And they become inbreded so much that it actually comes in your DNA. Like, I don't even know if y'all realize how much your trauma is passed down through your bloodline. And it's crazy. And then we start reacting.
Yes.
So now we got
Scientific
generations
evidence of
trying
it.
to figure it out. How do we balance? How do we start? Because now we're trying to rehab from all the way within. You know what I mean? All the way down to the basics. And it got to start somewhere. And it needs to, you know what I mean? And I love that it started here.
Exactly.
With us.
Right. No,
Like,
right.
you know, it's so hard to find people with the same type of mentality, the same type of spirit, the same type of understanding in their own lane. You get what I'm saying? But still understand the journey. And that is just so beautiful. One of the coolest things that you can get here in the metaverse. That's what I feel like. You know what I mean? To be able to connect on people on such a quantum realm from all kinds of spectrums of life.
Right.
So many
Yeah.
different cultures, so many different upbringings. Now we can learn from each other. Now we can transform and create that foundation. That's why I don't get all the BS, but I get it though at the same time because I was there too. I didn't love myself at one point. I didn't know my self-worth at
You
one
not
point.
alone, baby.
So I was accepting all kinds of bullshit. I was
Yeah.
sitting here, hee ha ha, whatever. You know what I mean? Until finally I realized, why am I doing this? Why am I accepting third-party hate from all these people? Why am I doing that?
Oh, yes. You,
That ain't love. That ain't love.
No,
And
it's
I,
not.
and,
And
I,
look,
and I accept what I give. And I don't
sometimes-
accept what I don't
and
give.
sometimes, Sue, it's okay to love people from a distance.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
oh, yeah, no,
Talk
You
about
can
it.
literally
Yes.
cut certain people out of your life
Yes.
and be like,
Yes.
you know what? If you okay with being stupid, guess what, baby? I love you anyway, but you
Yeah,
can go
yeah,
be
I know
stupid
that's
over
right.
there. Like,
Yeah,
go
right,
ahead and
yeah.
do you over there.
I
But
know,
don't come
yeah,
over
you know
here
what I
with
mean?
that mess.
I want everybody to succeed. Everybody should
Oh
understand this
God.
love.
That's all I wanted to say. Oh God, you can love people from a distance.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, Designer Panda? Hey, what's going on, baby?
I'm so serious. I've had to do that with people in my life. Like but because it comes from a genuine place. When I genuinely say I love y'all, I do. I genuinely do. But guess what? But guess what though, baby? At the end of the day, if it comes to the point where I have to question me or you, guess what, boo boo? It's gonna be me.
Yes.
Me,
Oh,
you
I know
can
that's
Go
right.
ahead and go
Got
do
to,
you, but
got
it's
to.
gonna be me. I have to pick me.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not easy. It's not easy.
No,
it's a
it's
hard
not.
thing
Oh, it
with
is.
any kind of relationship, with anybody. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
seriously, it's hard. It's really hard to create those boundaries. You can see a kiki kaka off the street, right? And they just like friends with so and so and so and so, but you know that third party hate's coming from it. But man, you ain't. You know what I mean? You just know it's an unhealed person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I
Yes.
ain't
pray
even
for you.
mad at you.
Yes.
I ain't
Yeah,
even
okay.
mad at you.
Dude,
You get what I'm saying?
I was just
Go
about to
ahead.
touch on that with what you're talking about, the third party hate, and you know that that's an unhealed person. So I have people come up to me all the time and they're like, Geek Mommy, why I would have reacted this way if this person did that to me. But I understand
I
that
did
I'm
that.
not in the, I'm not in the same space as that person. I'm in an elevated space. So therefore I don't react on that same level as that person. So and you're gonna get that in the metaverse in real life. But once you know that you're in a higher place spiritually, mentally, and you're secure in that space, you don't even react the same to stuff. It's like,
You do not.
you got too much to be happy about.
And I'll even venture to say this, because I've said this before, and even in talking to me, if you talk to me before, you know what one of the main things that I say is, look, I'm not responsible for how others treat me. I'm not. I'm not finna take the responsibility of how other people treat me. I'm only responsible for how I react to the situation.
Right.
Because I have to give an account. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, E-Class got to give an account for what E-Class does. I don't have to
Uh-huh.
sit here and wild out on somebody. I ain't got to cuss you out. I don't have to do all of
Right.
this stuff. Look, if
Mhm.
you do what you do, you have to give an account for that, not me.
Right.
So
Uh-huh.
I choose to operate from a heart of love and compassion and understanding. If you can't understand that,
Same.
then baby, that's on you. That's
Yep,
not on
okay.
me.
Yeah, it sure is. It's that accountability. It's that hope of accountability.
But that doesn't mean that it doesn't sting. You know what I mean? Because
No,
it
it
does.
doesn't.
Yeah, it
No,
does.
Especially
Sue,
if
it
it's
really
close
doesn't.
when it's close to home. You know, when it's a blind side, when it's somebody that you wouldn't even think like, damn, you crossed those boundaries. I thought we were
Thought we
cool.
was
It does.
cool.
You know
Thought
what I'm
we
saying?
was nice.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of stings. I ain't even gonna lie. Full
I
transparency.
also
Go
I
ahead.
typically see those as blessings, right? I see those as, God is unveiling who this person is for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Right.
it
Right.
might hurt at the time, like, oh, I thought
Yeah.
this was my friend, this was
Kind
my
of like.
Yeah.
relative, this was this.
Mhm.
But I also pray. I also pray all the time, and Geek Daddy's in the audience, and I ask God to remove.
Thank you,
Thank
Daddy.
you,
I
Daddy.
I ask God every day, please remove anything wicked,
It's true.
anything
I
that's
do.
not
That's
meant for
true.
me,
Mm-hmm.
move
And
it
that's
from
part of my
around
Yep.
me.
meditation.
And then
Yeah.
on several occasions, I'll get a phone call out of nowhere from a friend talking about, I just don't want to talk to you anymore. That's good. He's
God
removing
bless
it.
you and
Oh,
all
yeah,
your
He's
okay.
God
removing
bless
it,
you and all
right?
your pardons. Like,
Okay.
Oh,
let's go.
definitely.
Yeah.
But then at the same
Mm.
time, I see where Sue is coming from too, because at the same time, aside from all of that, come reeling it back in, we're human. We have
Mhm.
feelings, we have a thought process, we have emotions. And so a lot of
Mhm.
times, like, dang, I didn't think this person would do that to me. But then on the flip side, Geek Mommy, like I see where you're saying too, like, you know what? All right, look, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. What else can you
Mm,
do?
Right.
yeah,
So
that's
I'm
facts. My
actually
Mhm.
mom
so
said the same
glad that
thing.
y'all both brought up both of the duality in that situation because that actually is my point about
Yeah,
that. So the way I do self-love, because the topic is about self-love, right? The way I do
Mhm.
self-love when I'm in those kind of conflicting emotions and I'm trying to process it, because you do have to process it, right? And these are
absolutely.
chemicals that are released. You just can't help. Emotions will always come, but they are fleeting.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right. So
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
part is to like honor that. And while I'm processing and I need an outlet, I go to my support group. If I don't have my
Mm-hmm.
support group, or maybe it's just something I really just need to kind of figure out, I go to creativity. I go and
Mm-hmm.
build.
Mm-hmm.
I honor those feelings, but I honor them in a healthy manner that I know that is going to suscite me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the one that's feeling those emotions, not the person that's doing me dirty. You know what I mean? So now I got
Yes.
to like, okay, now I come to the conclusion that like I got you, homie. Like it ain't even nothing. I'm
Yeah.
all good. I've come out through it. And
Mhm.
just keep it moving. You know, and that's self love to me. That shows me the strength
Yes.
of love for myself. Because if not, I can allow it to trigger me. I could allow it to
Mm-hmm.
take me back to where I used to be. I could
Mm-hmm.
allow it to make me
Mhm.
start self doubting myself and questioning myself and questioning. And then what? And then and then the negative energy or the darkness or the devil, whatever entity that anybody ever even comes close to understanding, then that
Mhm.
wins. That wins because that's what it's
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
trying to take from me.
Mhm.
And I love
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
myself. So no.
Right.
No. Yeah, I don't think anybody has to feel bad about that in here.
At
And I see
all.
so many people go through it and then feel bad about it. And then they have self-doubt. And I see them go through this cycle. And it's like, but man, one thing about the metaverse I can say though, the it shines bright in here. There's so many
Yes,
blessed
it
people
does.
in here. It
Yes.
shines bright
Oh
in
my
here.
Yes.
I'm
goodness.
just glad we got
Lord,
that
it
thing
is
that's like
amazing.
the guilty conscience, the angel on this side and the devil on this
Right. I
side.
was
Which one
just
should we
thinking the
get?
same thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing as Sue was
Mm-hmm.
talking, except for I was thinking about it as, the people that you have around you. You have,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
say
Mhm.
you get into a negative situation and you said that
Mm-hmm.
you go towards the angel side, the self love side, but you'll
Mhm.
also have that demon side on the other side.
Oh
Like, oh,
yeah,
you
go
That
should
be
watch my
get
wanting
back
reels.
to
at this
cuss mouth
person.
Yeah.
right on
You don't
through
want to
you.
You
go
know,
out.
Go watch my
Yeah.
Go
I,
off.
I I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna lie. I'm gonna just keep it up. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm gonna be very transparent. I realized that somebody called themselves snubbing me this morning.
What?
In a
What?
post that they had posted, something that I was involved in, and this person, they do not like me for whatever reason, this guy. And he decided to include everyone else except for me, even though I was hosting it, because the person already made it known that he didn't like me. I mean, came to my event, was cracking jokes, you know what I mean, trying to make people laugh at me or whatever. And yes, I did have that weakness. I went under his post today and I said, "Oh yeah, you meant to break me down, but such and such and such, and I ain't this and that." You know, I was popping my shit. And I felt proud of that shit too. Cause I'm like, you don't know fucking way these motherfuckers in the metaverse. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna tell you how it is. Baby gonna tell you how it is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna throw rocks to hide my hand. Yeah. And then I sat there and thought about it. And I'm like, you know, you just made an ass out of yourself because you just gave this person all of this power over your emotion. You know what I'm saying? So was it real strength to pop off on him, or was the real sign and showmanship of strength would have been just to shut the hell up? That would have took more strength, in my opinion. And so in the long run, I ended up making myself look like an ass. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a part of self-love too.
True, baby. Now I'm also say this quote came from Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." The moment we think that we can sit up here and speak, like, look, I don't have to talk. I don't have to pop off at people, because guess what? It's gonna come back at you. Karma is a real thing, baby.
So real.
Look, and
shout out to Big Karma.
Like, for real, what you put out is what you get back. Whatever seeds you plant is what you're going to reap, because those seeds are going to grow. And so, you know what? I don't have to say much, because God's gonna vindicate me. God's gonna vindicate my name. You want to sit up here, you want to talk about me, you want to say whatever you want to say, you want to feel however you want to feel, but guess what? At the end of the day, I choose to operate. I'm not gonna sit here and acknowledge all of this stuff, because look, I'm responsible for how I act. Right. And so a lot of times when we pop off, we feel somewhat satisfied, but then we turn around and flip the script and be like, dang, I shouldn't have said nothing. Dang, I just gave this person power over me. Dang, I just did all of this. Because then it's a never-ending cycle. It's a domino effect. Because then once you speak on those things and you feel like you get the gratification and satisfaction of popping off, then here they come retaliating, and then you gotta retaliate back, and it's a domino effect.
And let's take this back to self-love. One part of self-love is taking care of yourself physically and taking care of your body, right?
I was about to touch on that.
So in that moment of anger that somebody else brought you into, here are just some symptoms of anger that it creates: increased heart rate and blood pressure, shortness of breath, muscle tension. So is that self-love? Like, you're giving yourself, you're bringing all of that stress onto your body because someone else forced you not to give yourself self-love in that moment, right? Do you feel your adrenaline rushing when you get mad?
And anybody that knows me, like, in real life, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is I say no. I'm not putting my nervous system through that. I'm okay, thank you. And I even do that at work. Like, I mean it. Like, I mean, no, my nervous system. No, I know now.
What's that song? What's that song? I'm gonna drink my water and mind my business. That's what I'm gonna do. You know, like, you're not about to get me having a stroke.
Period. And you know what? I love it. You ladies took it right into where I wanted to go. I wanted to touch on the body part, right? We said healing of the mind, body, and soul. The body, a major part of it is stress. Oh my goodness. And you know what? And guess what I learned? Y'all. And maybe I knew this, so I'm relearning it. So did you know, first off, one of the biggest killers is stress.
Red
Yes,
Bull.
ma'am.
I do know.
Yeah,
It really
that's
And
is.
facts
on
right
top
there.
of that, guys, when we stress out, our bodies produce something called cortisol.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I
Mhm.
told you guys,
Yes,
but I
ma'am.
recently
Yep.
started back up on
You
my
know.
weight loss journey.
Mhm.
My way, another way to show self-love, love to ourselves, taking care of ourselves.
Yes.
But did
Mhm.
you know that you can bring that substance into your body, have your body release that cortisol and all that
Mhm.
working out that you're doing, and you're watching your
Cancels.
calories, it will make it impossible for you to lose that weight. And not only that, it will make you gain weight. And that's
Gain
just
weight.
from stress. And that's not me. That's not a theory, guys. That is
No, that is facts.
scientific.
Yeah,
No,
That
that's
is a
Yeah.
scientific
It is
fact.
evidence-based.
When I learned I'm on a journey now where I'm trying to remain grateful, trying to have more control over my anger, and trying to control those cortisol levels, because that stress, not only can it make you fat, it can kill
Kill you.
Yeah,
you.
uh-huh.
Stress
Right.
can kill you.
Yeah, that's
Let me
true.
tell you about my daddy. His name is Herbert Murray Jr. God rest his soul. And my dad passed away in front of us at 45 years old from a heart
I'm so
attack.
sorry.
Thank
for your
you. I
loss.
appreciate it. But you know what? I love my daddy, and I figured the best way to honor my father is to learn. That's why I'm on my
Mhm.
weight loss journey. That's why I've gone, I just passed my year anniversary where I quit smoking, doing things that I know that he would want me to do. You know what I mean? That's how we honor those who go by, right? We learn from them, but remember the things that they left with us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Willingly or unwillingly. My daddy didn't know that he was going to be such a young man putting his foot in the grave, but he did with that stress. And so I said, I'm not going to do that to myself. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that being said, ladies, and each and every one of you have such healing energy. Y'all, audience, if you are enjoying this episode so far, just show some love. Show some confetti to the ladies. I mean, they have given us so many diamonds. And so now I'm going to ask for a little more. How do you ladies
So-
deal with stress? How do y'all get
So-
that monkey off y'all's back?
So I think I'm gonna piggyback off of what you were talking about, right? About the cortisol levels and stuff like that. And I think of it's your brain chemicals, right? Brain chemical releasing. So one of the biggest thing is I retrain it. You got to retrain your brain in order to release it. After a while of letting in stressful situations, just like your muscles have muscle memory,
Muscle memory. Right.
so does your brain, right? You
Yes.
start becoming a habit and routine. So now if
Mhm.
all day every day you're stressing, you're negative, you're thinking these, so it becomes a habit. Now your brain is now literally releasing the chemical without you even having to stress.
Right.
Just so you
That's
know.
crazy.
Okay. So in order to revert that, you have to release the other chemicals. Make yourself laugh. Smile. Laugh in the mirror. I know it's gonna fucking feel awkward, but do it. Release
to.
the
I ain't gonna
opposite
lie.
chemicals. Start retraining that brain. I mean, this is what we do for my patients with neurological disorders, right? They have, whether or not they have a stroke and they're flaccid on one side and we're trying to bring back that limb, right? You have to constantly, and I mean, it is a long process sometimes, but sometimes it's not, but it's consistency. You have to consistently bring that transmitter down to that arm for it to finally register, right? We got to do all kinds of the same thing. What makes you happy? What makes you smile? Take time out of your day and do that. That is self-love, and the body will follow. Your body will follow because
I
your
mean,
brain is what's operating it. Right now, you're
that is
looking at food a little different and saying, you know what is in this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute, what kind of chemical is this?
Right.
You know what I mean? So now you're not buying those foods anymore. Now all of a sudden, now you're picking out healthier stuff. You're picking out plant-based chocolate milk duds, like I was just eating earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like now it just kind of follows.
Right.
And you're like, you know what? I have a lot of energy now. Now I want to go work out. Now I want to go do
Right.
little walks. Whatever it is that you need to do. You know what I mean? So, but that is huge on self-love because it starts with your mind.
Mhm.
It
And
starts
then
with you.
even then, and then no, Sue,
Thank
correct
you,
me if
Sue.
I'm wrong. I heard it before. And as an athlete, for our military service, it takes 21 days
Yes.
to create a habit.
Habit. Yeah.
Just
To
a
create
habit
a
before
a
it becomes a
habit.
routine. Okay.
But because of that routine, it involves that consistency. So that is where, and I feel like that's where you were going with that. And you
Yes.
have to be consistent when it comes to that. You can't just start something and then just fall off. No, this is a lifestyle. I know for me, having PCOS, the biggest thing for me is to be consistent when it comes to making sure that I'm taken care of.
Yes.
I want to be around for my family. I don't want to
Yes.
have to sit up here and
Yes.
be pre-diabetic or lose my life early at an early age because I didn't take care of myself.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm not managing my stress properly. You really have to dig in and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I have to be in the gym, or I have to go for a walk. I have to watch what I eat. I have to be able to laugh and do those things that create and formulate that habit, even if it seems ridiculous to you, because it's in those moments that in the long run, the longevity of it is that I'm going to be a happier, healthier person because of this.
Come on. Come on.
Well, I deal with stress by I write down my prayers to God. I write
Oh,
them
that's
down.
beautiful. I love that.
I write them down so I can, like, if there's something, that I am not fully trusting him to do, like I say a lot of times, like, I trust you, God. I'm gonna get this thing that I'm trying to reach, and I know that you're gonna provide it for me. But then I find myself, especially the past week, and Geek Daddy knows it, the past week I was like, oh my gosh, I just don't know if it's gonna happen. But I already prayed and said I trusted God. So I had to write it down, and I said, get me out of my own way, and allow
Yes.
me to fully trust you. If I said I trust you, I need to trust you and not be
Right.
like, I trust you, but I'm stressed or I'm worried. So for me, because I am a visual person, I have to see those words down. I have to see what I'm asking for, and I have to also make sure that I'm being humble and my what's it called, and me not meeting what I need to meet. I need to be humble and say, hey, I'm not where I want to be and trusting you right now, and I know this, and I need to acknowledge this. So for me,
That's
I
honest.
really have to write these things down.
I think that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that good moment.
So mine is, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a self-pleasurement. I love sex so much, y'all.
Be honest. Be honest. It's the honesty. It's the honesty.
Yes, God made these toys. Thank ya.
Oh my God! You know what? I cannot lie.
Yes, y'all.
thanking God
That
for the
self-pleasurement of stress is it's the best relief ever.
But it is though. It
Yes.
is. Give it up for all the rose companies across the nation. Give it
Oh
up.
my
No,
God.
thank you.
And the rabbits and the jellies, and
Are you gonna name
Oh
all
my
of
God.
Oh my gosh.
So
I
we
know.
going to another.
You better tell the truth. Shame the devil, sis. You better tell the truth. Shame the devil. You better tell the truth.
that
that's
can
my
relieve
stress
stress?
relief.
I can see how
Yep,
that
my
relieves stress.
self-pleasure.
Yes, unique. Yes.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie.
It says
Tell
stress, the
myself
self,
up.
like the self-pleasurement and the self-love. It's the same thing. You come on. That's how I
Hey, I
feel.
feel it though.
It feel good. It's good for you, and masturbation is very healthy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, it
I ain't
is.
gonna
Very
lie, y'all.
good.
I'm gonna go off topic just real quick for 1 second. I have a saying. I swear to God, I say this all the time, especially when it comes to relationships with men. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, listen, you better bring something else. Like, you better bring something to the table. Because I promise you, ain't nobody can love me like I can love me. I know that's right. So, yeah, no, you better come with something. But yeah, I get it, girl.
Love it, love it, love it. Oh my God. That caught me off guard. I did not even
It
say that.
did.
But that is stress relief, Lord.
It's valid.
That's right. Hey, you do what you gotta do.
Ooh, that's
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You know what?
I'm crying. I'm
I
crying.
cannot wait till ladies' night there.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's coming, y'all. Ladies' night
Oh,
is coming.
yes,
I don't know if
ladies-
it's
oh, yes,
next
I'll be
weekend or
there.
the weekend after, but we got the ladies' night. We're going to be talking about all the roses, all the kinks, all the dinks, all the lollies and pollies. All of that. So, yes, definitely stay tuned for that teaser. Now, ladies, I do want to shift gears here, and I want to go into, I think I'm going to wrap it up with this. Whoop, hold up. My controller didn't just
It's
die.
right behind you. Oh.
No, my Lord, I'm gonna just roll with it like this. I think I gotta change my battery, y'all. Well, look, I have a question. So, okay, we talked about a lot of sad things. This episode, particularly the last episode, just a lot of sad things. There was a lot of tears shed, and so I wanted to go out with a bang, and I wanted to focus on. I wanted each of us to say something good that happened to you, and you can give the credit to God, you could give it to Allah, you could give it to the universe. You don't have to give it to anyone, but I want each of us to talk about something good that happened to you that was triumphant, to give the people hope that it's some bad times, but it's some good times too. My grandma used to always sing this song. The lyrics go, sometimes I've had some good days.
I've had some good days and some weary days. Hey, I won't complain. Paraphrasing. That's my song.
Come on now, and I wish I could hit this applause, but you know what, y'all? I gotta change. I should change my batteries before I came up here. Says, I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb.
Yes,
I've had
God.
some weary days and
Yes,
some
God.
lonely nights. Sometimes my clouds hang so low, I can hardly see the rain. And I ask the question, Lord, why, oh, why so much pain? But when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh all of my bad days, and I won't complain. And with that, I'm going to hit this off with my good story. My good story has to do with my origin story. Once upon a time, it all began before I was a twinkle in my father's eye. My mother and my father, they met each other. My mother was 14, my father was 16. They were high school sweethearts. They were married very young. And my mother and my father, for the longest time, wanted children. And they told my mother and father they would never have a living, surviving child. And they had a pair of twins. And that pair of twins died. Then they had another pair of twins. And that pair of twins died.
Wow.
Then they had a baby boy. And then 2 weeks later, he died. So when I was born, my mother and my father, they wanted me to have a pretty name to send me to the grave with. But what God had for you is for you, and what is meant for you will not pass you. I don't care what the doctors say. I don't care what science is. They told my mother and my father they would never have any living children. And so this message is for the mothers out there too, the fathers out there too, people who are looking to make babies, and you're thinking, oh, well, we can just adopt, or, oh, get depressed. Oh, we're never going to have any children. I'm telling you, if you're meant to have that little person come through you, use you as that canal of life. If it is meant for you to give birth to life, you're going to give birth to life. I don't care how did the doctor say you're
clapping in real life. I'm over here getting hyped. You better come on,
I'm
somebody.
telling you, because my mom and dad should have been in psych ward, as many dead children as they had. And yet here it is. Baby angel, 10 pounds, 10 toes, 10 fingers. And after
Mm.
that, I had 6 younger brothers and sisters that just began to
Wow.
walk out of Carla. They got a saying in my family, they got more kids than Carla. But once upon a time, Carla couldn't have any babies. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So
Mhm.
that's my good story. The story that I'm
Yes,
still
beautiful.
here. I'm still here in spite of it all. You know what I mean? Always the
Yes,
pleasant
ma'am.
surprise. So, all right, ladies, come on. And anybody in the audience, if you want to share a story, a triumphant
Please
story,
do.
whatever. When you a
Yeah.
child last week,
Yeah.
you want to share some light with the audience. Here is the time to do it, ladies. I know y'all got some good things to share with the
I got
audience.
too.
Come on
Hey,
now.
hey, look, I got too many, but for the sake of time, because I know I got to get ready to head out of here, because I got to go over to VR chat to head to the sampler. But I will say this:
Hey,
Sim-
hey.
similar to you, baby angel, the doctors told my mom she couldn't have kids. Miracle, she got 4. Second of all, the doctors told me that it was gonna be hard for me to have kids having
Mhm.
PCOS. But guess what? God anointed my body and said, you know what? She gonna have a menstrual cycle every freaking month now. At
Oh,
once I learned how to
nice.
reduce my stress, how to
Mm-hmm.
give myself
Come
that
on.
self-love.
Mhm.
Everything's starting to work normal. I done lost weight. I'm doing my thing. I am loving who God created me to
Oh,
be. I am
come
alive
Mhm.
and kicking to
on.
this day.
Yes.
And look,
Yes.
they was trying to prevent me from having diabetes. I don't have no symptoms of it right now,
Yes.
even though it does run in my
Come
Yes.
family.
on. Come
Y'all can't tell
on.
me that
Hey.
God is
Woo.
not real and he is not
Amen.
able to sustain the very life that he has given you. So
Come
I will sit here
on.
and I will tell you as a living testimony that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that I could ever ask, think, or imagine in my
Come
life.
on.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
with that, y'all be encouraged. I love y'all. I
We
gotta
love you
roll
Mm.
too,
before
E
I'm late.
class. We love you
All right. Love you, baby.
too.
I love you
I
too,
love
sis.
y'all.
Mwah, mwah,
Mwah.
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 Mwah. Look,
Thank you
y'all
so
know I
much for
love y'all
joining us.
dearly.
Y'all give it up for
Mwah.
E-Class Lady. She's
Yes.
going out to the sampler, y'all. Tell them
Hey,
about the
hey,
sampler
make sure
real
to go to
quick.
the
So
sampler.
tonight is the final night of the sampler that we are judging. We are presenting all of the songs. There's 3 teams. We were presented a sample. The producer, we were partnered with a producer. There's a rapper and an R&B singer. I'm the singer, parent, obviously. And so we are presenting the songs tonight at the final night of the sampler in VR chat.
Hey.
If you have time, y'all make y'all's way out there tonight. If you can't, stream it on YouTube Live. It's the sampler on YouTube. I love y'all. Y'all, let's go.
Oh, well,
Love you
good
too.
All right,
luck.
then.
Mwah.
Yes.
Y'all give it up for
Yes.
E-Class
Yay.
Lady, y'all.
It's gonna be an amazing
Beautiful,
performance, man.
beautiful.
I'm gonna have to catch her
Okay,
on
I'll share
YouTube.
my positive story. So, mine has to deal with love, and Geek Daddy's in the audience, and I love you. Oh my God.
I love a good love
But
story, baby. Come
yes,
on.
yes. But before I met Geek Daddy, I was in a marriage, a 12-year marriage, and
Ooh.
honestly, I didn't believe in love. I thought that you get in relationships for basic companionship and to pay the bills together and just do the work together. So I just didn't believe that I could ever be in love with someone or love someone on that level. So now, since I have Geek Daddy, oh, you got it. You got it. She doing it, baby
She
angel.
doing it.
I'm sorry. Don't pay me no mind. I'm like trying to change these goddamn batteries, y'all.
Oh, it's okay.
Give it up for
We'll
the
wait.
host of What's Tea podcast. So professional. Jesus Christ. Hold on, I gotta change the batteries.
We got it. We got it.
All right. Hold up. I think I got it. Hold up.
Yeah.
All right, this is as good as it's gonna get. All right. All right.
Yeah, she's back. She's back.
Kinda.
So I spent 12 years in a marriage that was loveless, that we didn't even like each other, and I would always go up to people and I'd be like, but I've been married 10 years, and putting up that front for people, right, as though time was weighted our love, right? And so
Mhm.
finally I got enough courage to be like, okay, this is not going anywhere. I don't love you, you don't love me, we don't even like each other, we don't sleep in the same room. And now And I write to myself a lot. So I showed Geek Daddy one of my old emails that I emailed to myself and saying that why can't I ever experience love? I thought I was incapable of doing it or feeling that emotion. But I have someone in my life that just loves me so much and brought so much beauty into my life. My home, yes, my home is so loving and peaceful. My son gets to see, two parents that adore each other. And it's funny because the love doesn't dissipate. It increases every day. Like right when I don't think I can love him anymore, tomorrow comes. And so I always tell him I always tell you, Daddy, I love you more than I did yesterday, but less than I will tomorrow because it just grows and grows and grows. And because I have that love, it has elevated me mentally. It's elevated me educationally. It's elevated everything that I do. I'm just better at it. So, yeah. That's my happy story. I get to see a love that I don't think a lot of people have gotten to experience, but it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful.
Oh, Geek Mommy. Y'all give it up for Geek Mommy. Geek Mommy, we so happy for you, baby. I pray that everyone under the sound of my voice gets to experience that type of love during their lifetime.
About Geek Daddy.
He's amazing.
Man, I'm telling you, shout out to Geek Daddy. Lovely, lovely.
Now y'all looking at me because it's my turn.
Oh yes, and you leave Fox there. Oh yes, Lord.
Oh man, I don't even I have so much to be grateful for. Like I died at birth, right? So that was interesting. So me and my mom both died when she was giving birth. We died for 3 minutes and then they brought us back. But I think the one that really hits home for me is one. I used to travel. I should be dead, to be honest. I've met death way too many times than I like to. But this one was very particular because this one came with a message, right? I was traveling with somebody, back in the day. Somebody I was dating, whatever, and we were doing some grimy stuff, back in the day. And so we go up to the store to go do it, whatever. But I had PCOS, right? And so I was bleeding, and I'm gonna get real personal, and this is extremely personal. So, but I'm gonna say it. So I was bleeding a lot. Like it just wasn't stopping. I mean, it got so bad to the point to where like I had to wear a diaper.
What up?
And it would fill up like within an hour of just like I was just dying. I was dying. You know what I mean? I was hemorrhaging. And like I remember like going through it, and I was hard-headed, man. I was a hard-headed girl back in the day. Like nobody could tell me nothing. Like it was bad. My ego was just too much. I learned it from my environment, you know what I mean? So anyway, so we're traveling out of town. We're about to go do a job, and I go over there, and like I'm at this point, like I'm walking through the stores, and people are looking at me because my color of my skin is so messed up, And the night before, like I told him, I was like, I want to go out, like I just want to go out. I'm trying to get my mind off of it because I know I'm dying. Like you just, it's a different feeling when you're dying. And so like I just wanted to go out. So he ended up taking me to a bowling alley. I wanted to go to a club. Right? So like, but he took me to a bowling alley. I get out of the truck and no lie, I walk about maybe 3 steps, and then all of a sudden I can't breathe, and like my head feels like it's going in, and I just want to go to sleep. Right. And so he picks me up, he puts me back in the truck, and we go back to the room. And we're doing the job the next day. So I go in to go to him, like, I gotta go take a shower. So, and then like he turns it on for me. He gets ready, and he goes, I was like, I need a moment by myself. And I sat on that bathroom floor and I just cried because I knew I was dying, but I was so arrogant and so hard-headed and so wheel-mannered that like I was going to let myself die other than taking myself to the hospital. You know what I mean? Like I was going to literally let myself die out of arrogance and stubbornness. So I'm sitting there crying, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I just, in my heart, I was like, man, I'm going to die tonight. I just knew I was going to not wake up the next morning. Well, I did. I did wake up the next morning. I'm still bleeding now, right? I'm still bleeding.
Thank you,
And,
Jesus.
and so we got to go do this job. So I have this habit that I always do every time I go to another state. I put on scan and I let it scan. And I, because I want to see what's popping in that area, what kind of music it is. It kind of gives me an idea of the environment and the culture and stuff like that. What's in that area, what I can expect. So I push scan because he goes in and I can't go in and do the job with him. There's just physically, I just can't. You know what I mean? So he's like, you wait here, I'll go do it, blah, 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 and whatever. So I push scan and I'm sitting there and it's scanning and it's scanning and it's scanning and it stops on this prayer channel. And it's like, if you got a prayer, you need a prayer, call now, blah, 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 blah. And so I said, if I got it, I'm going to call it. So I called it. And she's like, blah, 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 what can we pray for you today? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm dying. She's like, yeah, no. I know, I understand that you're dying. We're all dying. And I'm like, no. I don't think you get it. I'm dying. Like, I haven't stopped bleeding now and I can't breathe, can't think, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, she stops everything and she's just like, we're going to pray. So she prays and we're praying, and then at the end of the prayer, she's like, all right, I want you to take yourself to the hospital. And I'm like, yeah. Like I'm telling her, like, yeah, I'm going to go to the hospital. But in my mind, I'm saying I'm not going to no hospital. Right. But I'm telling her, yeah. So I hang up the phone and I promise you, this is crazy. He opens up the door and immediately I turn to him and I say, take me to the hospital. And he's like, okay, because he's been waiting. He's been waiting for the words. You know what I mean? So he's like, okay. So he jumps back in the car and I was like, whoa, what the heck? Because I didn't feel like that was me. Because in my mind, I was constantly saying, I'm not going to the hospital. And so like, he's like, all right. And this is before Google Maps and all that shit. We had maps. We couldn't figure it out. You know what I mean? When you travel, you use, the Atlantis to get to places. You know what I'm saying? So we have no idea. We were in a town, you know what I mean? We don't even know. Here's the store that we had to go to. And then here's like a freeway, right? And so he's like, all right, we got to find a hospital. So he turns out and he goes right here to the underpass. And I promise you not. I promise you not. There was a hospital right here across the street. Wow. I swear to God, I can't even make this up. Like I can't. This is real. So we go to the hospital, and we can't find the emergency room, and so like we go in. So we go through the front. Right. So, at first he was like, you want to, let me go get you a wheelchair. And now, me being hard headed that I am, I was like, no, I got it. You know what I mean? I walk, no, damn well I can't walk. So I go in and I swear it was like the movies and it was like, boop, 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 boop. All I could remember is it started getting really wavy and like my hand went on the wall and then bam, I was out. I was gone. I was done. Wow. I wake up a little bit later. I see doctors around me. There's blood everywhere. He's in over there. He's sitting there like this. And then bam, I was out. Woke up the next day. Come to find out I had to get 2 pints of blood. And thank God that there's people that donate. If you're O negative, I highly suggest to go donate because it is extremely rare and it is hard for us to get blood. So if you're a donator, and so so then I wake up, come find out I had hemorrhage. The cause was unknown, and that was the first time that I was able to submit into love because I actually knew that I was loved. It was the most life-changing experience ever, but one that I'm so happy with and I never take for granted. Even the trials, tribulations, it doesn't matter to me, man. Like everything, you know what I mean? Like everything to me is a reason and a lesson, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna work with it and I'm gonna make it, and that's my happy story.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Thank you.
Y'all give it up for Sue. Thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful. Yes. All things work together. All things, not some things. All things work together for
Because
our
look at this, look at this. I
good.
get to share that story with y'all. I never really ever
Yes.
share that story, so it's really weird
Thank
that that was on my
you.
heart to
I
talk
gotta
about
Thank
that.
send me
But
that story to see what.
you
it's
never
really
know what
crazy.
ears gonna hear. It's gonna bless somebody. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Thank
but you know,
you.
but don't. I think the message is because like I allowed arrogance and hard headedness and
Mhm.
my willness of what I learned of my environment of how to be hard and not to like so. But like
Mhm.
man, when you let go and you let God, like literally or whoever it is, whatever entity that you believe in, the universe, Allah, doesn't matter. When you give it up, man, your happy story is every single day.
Yes.
Whether or
Yes,
not it's
Yes,
always
it
sunny
is.
or
something.
fucking
It
raining,
Yes.
man,
is.
I'm grateful for it. It don't matter.
Right.
Mhm.
Mm.
All right,
Well,
that's enough.
I guess I go to
Thank
mine
you,
now.
baby.
I told my best friend the story already, but I'm gonna share it with everybody. So back in 2006, it's PCOS related. So I had a cyst under my breast and stuff, and oh my
Mm.
gosh, that thing was so bad. It was so painful. So I went to the fair. They have county fair every Labor Day weekend where I'm from. I'm from a small country town. So anyways, I just started. I went to a fair with friends and stuff. I just you know ooh, am I okay? So I was starting to faint, like in and out, in and out. I said,
Mm.
"Oh gosh!" And I was like, "Oh gosh, Tanya, please take me home." Rest her soul. My friend, she passed away from a car accident from a long time. But
Mhm.
anyways, she helped me. She took me home or whatever. So I went to a hospital. Long story short, I ain't long story long or whatever.
Mm.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So I took a shower. I thought like a cold shower would help me from my acne and versa or whatever, and it didn't. I just
Mhm.
start fading in and out. I just kept on seeing like dark. I said, "Ooh, Lord, am I?" I thought I was in hell at first because I had like that near death experience from I think I was going to hell or
Mm.
whatever. So I went to the hospital. My mom took me to the hospital. She said, "Oh no, Kim, you're not okay." I said, "Okay, let's go to the hospital, whatever."
Mhm.
So kind of found out my acne and versa, they lasted open and whatever. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. I said, do not
That's
touch me with
painful.
needles because it is, especially under the
Uh-huh.
titty. But anyways, they lasted. First it took me a long time because me and Neils don't get along at all. Because they try to numb the
Mhm.
pain because oh my
Mm.
gosh. Having like the pain, under the tits is not good, when they try to numb it
Very
down there.
sensitive
Oh,
area.
it's very, yes.
Very
Mhm.
So
sensitive.
they numbed it. They lanced it, and guess how big the seed was? A peach
How big?
seed. It was bad.
Oh,
Yeah, it was bad. I was like,
oh,
oh yes,
It's
oh
huge.
yeah, it was
Jesus.
disgusting. I said, oh, you want to see? I said, hell no. I didn't
Ooh.
want
Oh,
to see it, but I saw it
wow.
anyway, and I said, "Oh my gosh! Thank God he let me see another
Yeah, they
day."
could have killed
I mean,
Yes.
you.
yeah, I could have
They
killed me.
could
If
have
Yes.
killed you.
yes.
I would have let it go on to the next day. I would have been dead already. But thank
Right.
God, yeah, because
Become
Wow.
septic.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I have
Oh
a
my
good friend.
God.
She elderly lady. She died from septic because she let it,
Oh,
grow
yeah.
and it bust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad. So I'm
Wow.
just
Well, I'm
glad
glad you're
to
here.
share my testimony with y'all and my best
Oh,
friend
thank
right here.
you.
I love you,
Yay!
best friend.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for sharing,
Unique.
best friend. Thank
Yes.
you for
But I do have a
sharing.
lot of other testimony like Sue because I had the same story that
Mhm.
relates to Sue and stuff too. But I ain't gonna go into that because it's sex related type.
Shoot.
Oh
we
my
can get to that some
goodness.
other time.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends?
Yes, yes. You wanna be
Yes.
my sister? I love you, Sue. I love you too, Geek
Oh, love you too.
Mommy. So much
Mwah,
love in here.
mwah.
Yes. All
Love it.
right.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, listen, I wanted to open up the floor if there's anyone in the audience. If you would like to share something good that happened to you, any sort of testimony, any sort of story, maybe back in the day, recently, you're more than welcome to come and share that at this time. Okay, looks like all right.
Come on, y'all. Don't be
Mhm.
shy. Be bashful.
right. Well, you
So,
know what? Maybe next time.
but you know what? It's
Yeah.
good. Thank God that y'all made it to see another day. That's a testimony right there.
Yeah,
That's
So
right.
Yes.
God,
that's
yeah,
another
because you never know.
story.
A lot of people take life for granted, and you never know. Like the next day, they're like, "Oh, I should never," because a lot of people don't see our age. Like I won't. I may not live to see 37, or that person may not live to see
Mm,
31. But I'm just glad that God made me to see 36. So, oh,
mhm.
Miss Linda got
Amen.
something.
Oh, hey. Hold on. Let me turn on the
Hold on.
mic. One
All right.
second. Hey,
Yeah.
welcome. Welcome, Linda. What's
Hey,
going
Miss
on?
Linda.
Welcome to What's the Podcast, Linda.
Hey, I'll share my testimony. You can bless somebody. I don't remember the year it was, but I was once diagnosed with endometrial cancer. Just
Mm,
like Sue about the bleeding, I was bleeding all the time where I thought I was dying.
mm,
And
mm-mm.
I never knew what POS. I'm sorry, I messed it up.
PCOS.
They
PCOS.
never diagnosed me with that, but I remember the day when I received the phone call, and it wasn't the doctor that had diagnosed me. It was another doctor, my nurse, that called me up and said, did you do the make the appointment at the cancer center?" I said, "The cancer center? What am I making the appointment at the cancer center for?" She said, "Oh no, you didn't know." And the way that she gave it to me was so devastating. She said, "You didn't know you have cancer?" I
Oh,
said, "No, I was
wow.
never
Oh
aware of
wow.
that."
Mm,
And I remember dropping the phone, and my mom said to me, "We are church going people." My mom said,
mhm,
"You got one moment, just 1 minute to go ahead, get it out, and then after that, you know what we got to do." And how I got healed from cancer was not by taking medicine. I would go every 3 months for a year to get tested so that they can keep a track of if the cancer was growing or if it was
mhm,
decreasing. So the medicine that they were giving me was so nasty to the point that I would not take it. But here's what God
mm,
does. Through that process, he allowed my faith to increase to a level that it was my faith that caused me to heal. I had my
mm,
uncle who went to a
Wow.
church that gave communion for a week's supply of communion. I took that communion every single day and just saying, "In the name of Jesus, the blood of Jesus, over
mm,
this body, over this illness, over this all." They
mhm,
continued to test me. And finally, I remember the day we were sitting in the doctor's office, and he said, "Miss Watson," he said, "I got great news for you." He said, "You no longer have cancer." We were all rejoicing and we were all excited. And just as I was walking out the door, I turned around and I said to him, I said, "Sir, I'm sorry to tell you this." I said, "But it was not the medicine that healed me, but it was my faith in God."
mm,
And to
Mhm.
anyone that's out there dealing with anything that you may go through in life, period, the Bible says, "According to thy faith, be it unto you."
mhm.
Faith without
Mhm.
works is dead. You gotta have
Yeah.
faith, and no matter
Yes.
what it is, believing if it's whoever you believe in, higher power, whatever, just believe in something and just trust that whatever you believe in, it's
Yes.
gonna happen. So I just want to say that. And wonderful show, ladies. Wonderful show. I enjoyed myself today.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
Well, thank you,
beautiful.
Miss Linda.
Thank you for sharing that beautiful
Yeah.
testimony. Y'all give it up for Linda Michelle. Sharing that beautiful
Wait.
testimony.
So I do have a
Yes.
question for Miss Linda. Do you have PCOS?
Were diagnosed with that. I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer. Now, let me say this: that 3 years later, after I went through that, I was diagnosed with that. They had put in some type of like it was like a Y type thing that was supposed to prevent it from coming back. It ended up did coming back, and when it came
Mm.
back, I ended up having a hysterectomy surgery that took it away. So that did,
Mhm.
but I didn't get mad with God. I told the doctor, I said, I don't, I'm at my age, I don't want no more kids anyhow. So go ahead, and do what you got to do. So it all worked out for me, and I just thank God for that. But no,
Oh,
I was
that's
never
good.
diagnosed with that. I was diagnosed
Oh,
with
Wonderful.
that's good.
endometrial.
That's good to
Yeah.
hear. That is good.
hmm
Awesome.
Oh, y'all give
Awesome.
it up for Linda one more time. Thanks for sharing that. You know what?
Hey.
Some of these
Woo!
testimonies, they're not easy to share, but I'm glad that you
Yeah.
ladies have the courage to share them because somebody needs them. You know what I mean? Somebody
Mhm.
needs those words of encouragement. X9, X9, You're muted. Are you trying to say something into the mic? Okay, baby. All right, guys. Let's see. We're going to move on to the final portion of this episode. I'm going to be giving out 2 cash prizes, 2 $15 cash prizes. And of course, we're giving away a fully furnished mansion, ladies and gentlemen. If you are ready, let me see that confetti. Throw it up, throw it up. Hey! And see, this is why I like waiting to the end. You know what I'm saying? Thank you all for staying. Hold on, let's give out our first $15 cash prize. Ladies and gentlemen, also keep in mind, in order to receive your prize, you do have to have access to a Cash App or PayPal. All right, side note, guests and production are not eligible for cash prizes and asset prizes, so we are going to be spinning again. Sorry, Unique. Love you.
It's all good.
All right. We giving it up to
Geek Daddy.
Geek Daddy. Congratulations, Geek Daddy.
That's my man.
Now, Geek Daddy, in order to claim your prize, you just have to message me on Instagram or here on the Oculus. You know how to get in contact with me. You can even have Geek Mommy send me the Cash App, okay? And then I'll send it over to you, okay? All right. Oh, hold on. Something's going on with these controllers today. Jesus.
That's none but the devil.
You know?
It sure is.
Oh, glitchy. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's do the asset prize. Y'all want that mansion? If y'all ready, let me see that confetti, baby. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Now, this is a beautiful all-white, fully furnished mansion.
Nice.
And we have several different options.
Friday.
That's the bot. So we can't give it the Friday, but shout out to Friday. That's the butt of our production. Shout out to Tony Stark Enterprises, who handles all of the production here at Ashe and What's Tea Podcast. Okay, let's spin it again. Dun, 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 dun. Let's
Friday again.
Come on now, Friday. Now we're not going to keep, goddamn it, we're not going to keep going through this with you, Friday. Friday got all the luck. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Come on.
Geek Daddy.
Geek Daddy. Hey, look, it is what it is. All right, now Geek Daddy, are you interested? Do you want this fully furnished mansion?
You're muted.
You muted. You could just give us a nod, or you could come talk up on the mic. It's up to you. Yes, all right. Congratulations to Geek Daddy. He's won our first cash prize of the night and our asset prize of the night.
You balling already.
Mansion. Now for our last prize of the night, $15 cash prize. Remember, production and guest members are not eligible for prizes. Let's go. Linda Michelle. All right, shout out to Linda. Congratulations. Remember, if you want to redeem that, simply send your Cash App or PayPal to me on Instagram or right here on the Oculus, and I will send that to you in a timely fashion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our time. It has been amazing. This part 2 of Matters of the Heart, healing of the mind, body, and soul. Hey, what's up, Writers Pen? Let's give a shout out to everybody in the audience. We got Writers Pen, we got the Prez, we got X9, Geek Daddy, Tar, he long. What's up, baby? We got Nick T, we got Black Hater. All right. And we got Linda Michelle. Hey, okay. I didn't know if you were trying to say something. Did you want to say something before we wrap it up? Oh, hold on. Let me turn you on, baby.
Y'all
Hold
do
on.
whatever y'all want to do. No, I'm honored.
Oh, thank you. And we are honored. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, What's Tea Podcast, that is our time. I am your host, Baby Angel. Shout out again to our guests. Today we got Geek Mommy, we got Unique Foxdale, Sue to the QE class lady had to go, but she blessed us as well. Listen, I hope that this blessed you as much as it has me. You all take care of yourselves. Listen, we love you, mwah, but God loves you most. Take care.